Become kind of sick and tired of aesthetic content recently. And when I say aesthetic content, I kind of think that you know what I'm talking about. I'll put up some examples here, but like the really overly curated, overly stylized, like overly perfect kind of that girl kind of content. And I know to some extent your algorithm is a representation of yourself, so whatever I'm seeing on the algorithm is just me, right? And it's the content that it thinks I want to interact with. And maybe to some extent, at a point that was true, but recently it's been doing nothing but making me sad, making me depressed, and sending me into these constant spirals of feeling that I am not doing enough, that I'm just a failure, that I can't get my life to look that way, especially at the age I am, that I'm not doing enough, that everyone else seems to be moving forward and I seem to be stuck. And the more of that content I consumed, the worse that it got. And over time, I just realized that I had to disconnect from it. I kind of left Instagram kind of 6 years ago. I say I kind of soft left Instagram because I deleted the app from my phone and I only ever really use it on the browser in actual times when it's needed, like to look up a business or something like that. And the reason that I kind of left Instagram was the same reason that I'm tired of this kind of content, and it's giving me the same kind of feeling that I did, that necessitated me leaving Instagram around 6 years ago. It wasn't like I made a big announcement about it, but now I have a place where I can put these thoughts. And I do want to talk about how the constant feeding of this extremely highly curated content, this kind of inauthentic almost content, will and has taken a toll on my mental state. And I'm sure if it's taken a toll on my mental state, it's probably done the same for other people. It's really getting to a point where some of this content almost doesn't feel like it's being made by a human being for a human being. In that, I mean, it's so perfected. And there's nothing wrong with aesthetics, right? I'm not talking about content. The first YouTuber that comes to mind is like Lin Trong. Her content is extremely stylized, but it's almost like a filmmaking style, so it makes more sense. Her content, though it is overly stylized, and you can see that she puts a lot of thought into every shot she takes, it doesn't necessarily feel highly curated to me, right? I'm talking about those day in the life vlogs or whatever else that feel so unrealistic. It's almost insane. And it's driving me personally insane. And I am learning that if I'm feeling something, I'm usually not the only one who's feeling that way. And I've come to learn that when I'm feeling something, I'm usually not the only one that's feeling that way. And it's also kind of crept into more like whimsical or whimsy maxing content where everything feels so overly curated and inauthentic. And one of the reasons that happens, I believe, for whimsical content is mostly because it feels like you have to buy everything. To be whimsical, you have to be purchasing something. When, in my personal opinion, the whole point of whimsy is to connect back with your inner child, right? Do the stuff that your childlike or child self would have enjoyed. And a lot of those things don't necessarily cost a lot of money, right? It's not the things that we purchase that allow us to be whimsical, it's how we react, right? And so I kind of have been getting this feeling of I need to not be on YouTube consuming that content. Now, I'm an avid consumer of YouTube content. You could possibly say that it is an addiction because it possibly is. I look at a lot of YouTube. I watch YouTube all the time. It's on in the background a lot of the times for some things, and the content was being kind of presented to me, and I was interested at first. The other thing that kind of bleeds into it is also a level of jealousy. And I do think that we are afraid to admit jealousy, especially on the internet. We don't want to admit that we're jealous of people. I don't think inherently jealousy as an emotion is bad. It can lead to you wanting more for yourself. You, especially if you didn't know that that kind of life was possible. But there's a difference between jealousy for something that can be achieved and something about this almost unattainable, unachievable, inauthentic life that is being presented to us or presented to me, right? That just doesn't make any logical sense for me to aspire to because it isn't real, right? And in some ways, the jealousy is a good thing because that spark of jealousy is kind of like, well, if they can do it, why can't I do it? And it pushes you to kind of do the work, post the content, put actual work into things. Whereas if you didn't have that jealousy or that drive, you probably wouldn't do those things, or I probably wouldn't do those things. The jealousy in itself isn't bad, but the content is getting to a point where it's getting really, really like, it almost seems like it isn't human content being made for human people to consume. It's so overly curated, it's so perfected. It's almost like I'm watching a televised production instead of just a person being themselves. Part of what I've had to do is what I had to do on TikTok when TikTok came out. And we talk about I built this FYP brick by brick. I'm getting kind of that with also my YouTube suggested page. I actually have to be a little more intentional about what I click on, what I spend my time on, trying especially to find smaller creators to interact with, especially creators that look like me, which is hard enough because I hate to use the word aesthetic again. The aesthetics of like this push of whimsical stuff, a lot of the people who are doing it, well, who are being spotlighted for doing it at least, do not look like me, which is a shame because I know people like me out there exist who are whimsy maxing their life right now because things are really sad and depressing. And we do have to take the time to find joy in small things, right? It's been such a ride with this kind of content, and I really just needed to get the thoughts out there because I know that other people also have to be tired of that kind of overly curated content. I really do want to hear your opinions on it. If you do have any, do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm over exaggerating? Is it really just my algorithm that's feeding me all of this stuff? I am really interested to hear about it. I have filmed this video before, and now I'm filming it again. I hope it's much better than the first time. I actually like to put a modicum of effort into the stuff that I'm doing. If you like this channel, please feel free. English is my first language. English is my first language. If you like this channel, please feel free to subscribe. We have 6 subscribers now. I am so grateful, so appreciative. If you did take a chance on this video, I'm also very appreciative of you. It takes a type of person to watch a video that is from a small channel, and thank you so much. I appreciate you. Please hit the like button. Please do comment. Engagement really does help. And you can also follow me on my other social medias. I'm much more active possibly on TikTok than I am here because I post once or twice a day on TikTok, whereas I only post around once a week here. This is where all my long form content and long thoughts live. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for enjoying this video. And I will see you all next week with another long form video, possibly longer than this, possibly quite a long video that I may have to film in parts because there are some parts of the internet that I lurk around on where things are falling apart. As I've heard many people in the community say, we may be in the final season, so I want to get my stuff out there before that does happen. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you all next week and enjoy your day. Please remember to drink water, take your meds if you need to, and try to find some whimsy in your day today. Whimsy that's free, because it should be. Bye.